Good morning, everyone. Grace and peace. Welcome to Find the Intersection. My name is Paul Desai. Today, we're going to be talking about our weekly themes, intersections, threads that run through the four lectionary passages. So we had some really good passages this week. I guess we do every week. I had a much harder time finding the threads this week than I typically do, just being honest. We had that passage in Luke where it talked about marriage in the resurrection, Sadducees challenging Jesus about the resurrection. They didn't believe in the resurrection. They asked Jesus some ridiculous question about who will be married in heaven. And then there's 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, and that's talking about the lawless one, the one that was to come to kind of mess things up, the anti-God figure that is persecuting the church. And we had Haggai talking about rebuilding the temple, and we had Psalm 145, a song of praise about God being king. So a few threads that I found this week is really the promise of resurrection. We see that primarily in the Luke passage. That is about resurrection and justice and God's provision and promise for the future. And we see that thread connecting to the rest of them as they talk about future hope. So this idea of the promise of resurrection and the future hope that God will provide in the days ahead, at the day of the Lord, this future day that we see throughout these passages, that God is the God of hope, and he promises us a resurrection future. The other theme that I saw this week was the sustaining power of God's presence in our lives. In each of these passages, we see a present moment as well as a future hope. And in the present moment, God is sustaining God's people, whether it be the church in the midst of persecution, whether it be in Psalm 145, where the psalmist is talking about generations worshiping God, right? So there is a sustaining power of God's presence in our lives throughout all of the passages. Like I said, this week is a little bit more challenging for me. I'm not sure if it's just me. So if you would share some of the thoughts, the threads, the intersections that you found in the passages this week, I'd appreciate it. I'd like to learn from you. But that's all I got for today. Hey, we'll be back next week to do it all over again. And hey, we're building towards Advent. We're getting closer to the beginning of the Christian year. So we're winding down an ordinary time. And in a few weeks, we're going to be starting a brand new year. So it'll be year A in the lectionary 3-year cycle. So that's it. That's what I got. Hey, have a great weekend, everyone. Grace and peace.